This is 3D up close and personal.
I'm David.
I'm Danielle.
And I'm Daryl. 3D up close and personal. Episode 14, privacy.
Say you need privacy, well it's fine, ain't no need to run and hide from me. Go where the eyes don't see, or you put on quite a show and it's all for free.
Today we're going to talk about what's private in society as well as relationships. You know, the first thing is locking the bathroom door. I think it's really important for your privacy, for their privacy. What do you think about that, Danielle?
For a good example, I got up this morning to take a shower, and my guy had to use the bathroom. We have one bathroom. But he was able to come in and relieve himself. Well, I'm in the shower, you know what I'm saying? No issue, no problem. But every case is different. I mean, if you got multiple bathrooms, I guess you want to lock the door.
I feel comfortable when my door is locked.
I mean, people have problems. And somebody get up in the morning, and the first thing they do, they grab their phone and go in the bathroom. That's what they do. If you trust them.
What's going on in there? A secret conversation.
Especially if the door is locked, you know, but that's still privacy, you know, and I guess it's a level of trust. It has to be manifested in a relationship. The privacy on this restroom thing. You know, some women and some guys, they don't really want their significant other to really smell them. I mean, not in that kind of way, even though we know we all got to go. What about that poopery product, Danielle?
I think it works pretty good. They got the off-brand too. You can get it at the store. They seem to work. If you really that bad smelling, it might not work.
Close the door.
Oh, you're rot gut today, babe.
I'll remember that when you come pay me a visit tonight.
The next thing on privacy, checking phones and messages.
I don't need a secretary. I can check my own messages. Thank you.
How do you feel about that one?
It's a catch-22. It depends on the stage and the relationship. On one hand, you don't really want somebody going all through your phone. That's just a sign of mistrust. That's a sign of absence of goodwill in the relationship. If somebody's checking all they know on your phone, and if they want the code to your phone, it's just a sign of being, I guess, too invasive.
Man, you act like you a secret agent. Pass me the phone, please.
But on the other hand, you know, sometimes people figure, hey, we're really together. We're really a unified front. Those are the kind of things that we ought to really be exposing one another to. We ought to have access to each other's phones. Shouldn't have no secrets. That's a real sticky, controversial topic.
That situation is really boiled down to trust. You know, trust, security in the person. Said, you know, I trust her.
However,
even the most trusting and the most secure person may have some doubts in their mind, some wondering.
Do they knock that thought out of their mind like they would brush off a fly by their face while they're sleeping?
If you're looking for trouble,
It won't be hard to find.
Look in that phone, you'll find it.
You might not find anything. They may be a sneaky spy, always deleting messages, putting false names in the contacts, and no contact photos.
The other thing about them phones is like sometimes it's just a matter of respect or disrespect. If somebody's got so much interest in their phone, they got their head in their phone all the time. It's like, it makes the partner think, okay, what is really distracting you from this relationship? What is taking priority where it's got your phone attention so much? I imagine these phones get couples in trouble sometimes.
If you're being bad, you're darn tootin'.
Danielle, how you feel about checking phones and you having your phone checked? What's going on with that for you and your world?
It don't bother me. I feel like unless you got something to hide. So I think it shouldn't really be an issue. But, you know, everybody got their own feelings on that. And honestly, as far as checking phones, as far as people knowing about it, or you sneaking and looking at their phones?
Sneaking? Is that like Johnny going to the cookie jar unauthorized?
Oh, if you checking the phone while they sleep or distracted and they ain't thinking about their phone, yeah, it is sneak. They trusted you that they can sit their phone down and you ain't gonna bother because it's their personal property. However, if you say, let me look at your phone blatantly in front of their face, say, I don't trust you and I need to check your phone for my security, for my comfort, because I have no comfort and I don't trust you.
Wow. That statement can be perceived in multiple ways.
You guys, give me some comment on that if you want to.
I heard some people say that, you know, a lot of people don't want to have that uncomfortable conversation. Because, I mean, most people ain't going to come out and straight up tell you they cheating on you and they going to lie to you.
Babe, I would never lie to you. I love you. Give me a kiss.
What choice do you really have?
Sometimes they'll try to do the smoke screen and try to blow it off on you. You ain't getting nothing wrong.
Yeah. Look how mistrusting you are. Look at you.
You insecure.
What about reading people's mail?
Privacy's a treasure, guard it tight. Don't invade my mind.
That's an invasion of privacy.
It's a federal law. If you call up the FBI or the postal inspector and say,
My girl read my mail.
She probably wouldn't get in trouble. They'd probably say, you need to check her.
but your neighbor came in your box and took it and read, to be prosecutable by law. The domestic thing,
they probably say, let's keep the peace, leave his mail alone. You don't want no trouble because we can give you trouble.
I don't think nobody's going to even go that deep to even take it to the courts unless you steal their identity or something.
If you at that level, I think the relationship is pretty much over. Send me to prison, then what you gonna do? You
don't know.
Put some money on my account and write me letters. And visit me every other Sunday. Wait a minute. I was free till I read your mail.
But that goes back to the same principle of looking at somebody's phone. It just really boils down to trust and security.
If somebody opened my phone bill up, you must be ready to pay. I get away for this month. Right on. Thank you. Give me a kiss. I'm happy now. What about you on a conversation on the phone, your date or your significant other is right there at earshot of it?
They step out the room, but you still are listening. Some would call that ear hustling. Is that wrong?
First of all, is it wrong for you to excuse yourself or step out of the room? I guess it depends on the stage of the relationship and the trust factor and a whole bunch of other stuff too. Because some people would probably be offended and be like, okay, excuse me, I need to take this someplace else. But there might be some kind of privacy sensitive issue that they don't really want disclosed to their partner.
Yeah.
They want some extra privacy.
Well, somebody like a physician, okay, and they getting a call from a patient. They have it set where they just check it the next day unless it's really urgent. But they get a call from a patient, the call center set it up, tells the patient, and the other person knows that
I'm a doctor. I took an oath. I got to talk to my patient. It won't be long.
It's an insecure person, and you keep excusing yourself to go talk to your patient, and that insecure person will say, hey, it sounds like you playing doctor too much with that patient. What's really going on? What's up for real?
Right.
Why does Mrs. Jones call you every night at 9 o'clock? I understand doctor-patient confidentiality, but hell, I need to know something. Please.
What about listening to somebody's conversation? Like, for instance, you got a significant other and you talking and they into your conversation. Do you find that offensive? Do you find that's wrong?
Well, I think Dave made a good point when he said if you need to step away and have a conversation, that you probably should. But I mean, if you're in the same room with somebody, I don't know.
TUA, take it under advice. What about glancing at somebody's email or social media account?
Interesting.
And what I mean by that, you could do it through the phone, but sometimes there's a shared laptop or desktop in the house. They didn't close out. You go use the unit, and their page is wide open.
Well, if you go looking for trouble, you're bound to find it.
Even though you don't have the passcode, you can log out.
It's so tempting to look at that inbox and see if you see anything important.
If it is, you may have a lack of trust.
That's an issue.
When you get your heart stomped on and you give trust and you've been used and abused about this trust thing in various relationships, you have trust in somebody, it may take a little while.
I'll tell you a story I heard the other day.
Well, tell us a story. Danielle got stories tonight. Yeah.
I was listening to this talk show where this therapist talks to people or a counselor. Anyway, a lady called and says, I got to tell you, I found my husband was cheating.
Oh my God.
She been with this man for 25 years. He was perfect man, no problem, loved him. But then one day, just because she had a feeling, she decided to go through his computer. And she found out he had a sex addiction. He had been cheating on porn addiction. He was putting her sexy pictures out on the internet and having conversations with people in chat rooms.
Ooh, that's a kinky man.
All behind her back for 25 years. She went back, way back, found emails.
The internet's been available to the public since 1993. That's 32 years.
Oh, my goodness. Wow, 25 years, yeah.
That's when they had freaky chicks at hotmail.com.
That's why they called it Hotmail.
Remember the little recording? You have mail.
You go way back.
So is it wrong to look at someone else's emails or social media accounts? Is that a violation of privacy?
You know how much time people can save if they go check up on people and just find out the lies?
My question is, can you handle the truth?
Yeah, every once in a while you need to do an electronic checkup or just a random audit.
You guys are as bad as the car insurance company. You know they check your license occasionally for accidents or tickets that were not reported to them.
Get into somebody's phone, get into somebody's social media. Just do an audit from time to time just to make sure somebody ain't doing some foolishness behind your back. You don't want to get caught because you get caught and your partner's going to say, look how insecure you are. Look how much you don't trust me.
Our disclaimer, the last comments from David are not the concepts and opinions of 3D Up Close and Personal Management or Parks Media Group. Do not try this at home. For your relationship health and or your personal safety, thank you.
And now what we're doing, asking family members and friends and maybe even coworkers about them.
That's a whole nother can of worms right there. That's a form of investigation.
When somebody's snooping around and asking their friends and relatives questions about you, they are more like a secretary of a private investigator. They need to quit playing.
If the relatives or friends, they really care about that person, they gonna let you know that he was asking me questions about you. They gonna let you know up front. I don't care how subtle you are.
They'll go as far as saying, that person that you're talking to, my sister, my brother, they ain't no good. You need to get away from them.
I don't know if you ever thought about this. That relative might want you and saying bad things about your significant other.
Some people just honest. They might like you as a person and be like, man, I'm sorry if my family member is doing you so dirty.
What about Googling that person? Ooh. Some people Google at the beginning of the relationship because all the time this person might say they one thing and they something else. They may have a criminal history.
And I was just about to bring it up. Do we do a criminal background check on our part?
Somebody could have a criminal record and they was a bad person at the time and they turned their life around. The person you met then ain't the person that's on record.
What is your crime that you're committing in this relationship? That's really the issue.
Man, all the other stuff that happened in my past, that was yesterday. All I want to do now is steal this woman's heart.
Maybe you should have been a prosecuting attorney. That was a good one, though. I really liked it. Now we're on trust and insecurities. What about you, Danielle?
You can give me the benefit of the doubt, but, it's a risk either way.
Should I do an investigation on my significant other?
And probably have a service that you can subscribe to do it.
Only $19.95. You can run background checks unlimited every day. Run one on your mom, your new boyfriend, your long-lost cousin, your next-door neighbor, or your coworker. It's unlimited.
10 reasons to do a background check before marriage.
You should be fully aware of everything about each other. You could become an unknowing victim of certain scams or crimes. Character is also an important aspect that needs to be thoroughly checked. Knowing your past and present, debts, things like that, criminal history, a history of domestic violence, entity verification to say who they really are, see if they have any addictive behaviors.
Wait a minute, I got real ID. Ain't that a good though?
People lie about their residence, age, financial status for several reasons. You can find out if they were in DUIs or have been narcotic convictions. To see if they're already married or not, their true marital status. And then you get to figure out who their family are based off doing background checks on them and who they might be. And just being better safe than sorry and to have peace of mind.
Well, that's 3D Up Close and Personal.
I'm David.
I'm Danielle.
I'm Daryl. It's 3D Up Close and Personal. And that's all we have for today. Take care.
3D Up Close and Personal would like to thank you for listening.
We have 14 episodes that you can listen to anytime.
We are on 18 different platforms. People have tuned in from 10 different countries.
Plus, we have a 4.5-star rating on Apple Podcasts and Spotify.
3D Up Close and Personal is produced by Parks Media Group,
PMG, and the privacy intro song was performed by Gio Mero, 2025,
all rights reserved.
Like and subscribe and share.